Hello, Leo. Welcome to Spicy Sunflower Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the month of October, getting a head start on a sneak peek view of October for the sign of Leo. Leo can be your sun, moon, rising, maybe Mars or Venus placement. And so I'm just going to do a couple of shuffles. I already went through the decks that I will be using with some manifestations as far as putting positive love and light into this reading for you, Leo, for the month of October. We're looking at a traditional Celtic cross spread to see if there's anything that jumps out in particular. Just one more shuffle here. So, for the sign of Leo, what does Leo need to know? Celtic cross spread, starting off with that current placement for the sign of Leo. Where is Leo currently sitting? What is their current placement? Let me lay the cards out and then I'll jump into the explanation. So, Leo. Place this face up. Doing upright reading meanings today. I'm going to turn this face down. One last card. Okay. So we're looking at bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords, some air energy, some speaking the truth, some analytical conceptualization as far as maybe strategizing, making plans, putting your boundaries down firm, making sure that you're speaking your truth, you're listening, you're not really working with feelings so much right now as far as October is concerned, just a general overview, so much as you're trying to just speak very diplomatically, speaking with, you've got your sword ready, but you'll only use that if you really need to. And that just means, with the truth, you will cut people, places, and things out of your life that no longer need to be there. So Leo, jump into the heart of your spread. We have the Three of Pentacles. And this is about collaborating. This is about building. This is about teamwork. This is a very, it's a team-minded mentality. It has a lot to do with work. It's pentacles. So we're talking about anything that makes money, that uses our time, that uses our talent, as far as, building for wealth, health, family, legacy, energy. But really predominantly, Three of Pentacles is really about work. It's about you getting in and being involved in a team at work or in your family. You're all pitching in to do chores. You're all pitching in. It's a pitching in energy. So there's Three of Pentacles as your current situation when October starts out. What's challenging that? We have this sneaky energy here, Seven of Swords. We have some maybe could be lying, could be sneaking, could be self-sabotaging. This is sword energy, so it does have to do with the thoughts. It has to do with the way that we're thinking. It's the way that we're processing something, either us personally, you, Leo, or this is a challenge to you building and growing with others because it's someone else. It's kind of that energy of who stole the cookie from the cookie jar type thing. So somebody is getting in the way with their deceitfulness, with their sneaky behavior. I mean, if you look at the image in the card, it's in the dark of night. There are these crows, these messengers, kind of telling on. It reminds me of somebody telling, telling the secret. He said, I'm going to sneak in here and take these things. Don't tell anyone. And as soon as he's on his way out, the bird squawks and lets everybody know that that's what he's done. So even though it seems sneaky and like someone's getting away with it, they're really not. But it's challenging you trying to work as a team because we have someone maybe going on to it's kind of being selfish. Somebody either, just thinking about themselves and what they want and what they are going to get from this team building energy, or this is you with your self sabotaging thinking. I was going to say thoughts and thinking at the same time. So either way, it could be you getting in your own way with the way that you're thinking about whatever this team mentality needs to be to keep us in a healthy, organized fashion. You could be getting in your own way. So think about it from different possibilities as far as that goes. As we move into, the head of the where your head is at. It's the crown, and it is the Seven of Pentacles. So we've got another seven, and this one again is more pentacle energy. So this one though means patience, something requiring you to be patient. Now that makes a lot of sense in the aspect of Three of Pentacles, because a good team isn't built overnight. A good family isn't developed in one day. If you have these three people living in a home, everybody's got to do their fair share. And it's making me think of a Barney song, everybody everywhere, do your part, do your share. If I'm even thinking about that right. But so what this is up in your mind is, this is going to take patience. I need to know that, we're going to plant these seeds for what we're trying to build and grow, whether this is at work or this is at home. It's going to take time. You don't just get a plant out of nowhere, unless you buy it in the store that way. But if you've planted seeds such as these seven pentacles here, it takes time, energy, effort for the sun, the water, the right environment. Everything has to come together so that it can grow into this beautiful bush. And then not only at that time the job doesn't get to be over. It still requires pruning and sunlight again and the right temperatures. And it's just a never ending process. If this is going to grow into a big oak tree in the backyard, it's going to always require something of our effort, but also our patience. So that. It seems like that's very present on your mind. You understand that concept. So in your recent past, what brought you to this moment is Knight of Swords. Now, this could be you running not only toward something, but this could be you running away from something. So either up in the distance is what you're heading towards and you cannot wait to get there. This is a very fast, rapid moving energy. So something in your recent past, maybe, the months of summer, just led you to the mindset, because we're dealing with swords, led you to the mindset that whatever it was that was back there it's time for me to get away from it, and it's time for me to get moving to this. Or this is you just really knowing, I just want to get to this as quickly as I possibly can because I'm ready. You're just ready. You've got your getaway mobile ready to go, whether that's your own 2 feet or whether that is you actually maybe moving to a different location, but it is movement towards something that you've been thinking about for a long time. So that was what brought you to this collaborating energy in the center. And then that it's going to take patience, time, and effort to work on it. And in the bottom here, in your subconscious, kind of thinking of it as your basement energy, Eight of Wands, which is very fiery energy. And this is fast, and this is rapid, and this is passionate, and this is a lot to do with social media. This is a lot to do with text messages, emails, phone calls. It does tend to mean communication, through the airwaves, and it's just all these wands converging in the center to reach the same goal. So you and whoever it is that you're collaborating with there in the center, I think you're all in communication with one another about what we want to do to get this party started. Into the future, we have Five of Pentacles, which is, it's kind of a sad energy. Moving into the future, feeling maybe this left out, lost, lonely, somewhat abandoned. Um, Five of Pentacles is kind of a sad energy. And what I'm finding interesting about that being in your future is because there was this running away or running toward this this something over here in Knight of Swords that led you to, your current state. So my thought on this is that if you were, leaving something, a relationship, a job, if you were leaving something, sometimes we get what we were trying to, leave. We were leaving that relationship, we were leaving that job, and we reality sets in, is what I'm trying to get at. And there's those little thoughts that we have of, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right decision? It's kind of self-doubting. It's kind of maybe just not believing in yourself or feeling confident in what you've done. This is the future energy. And what I want to give you, just as a sense of encouragement, is you always have the key to your own happiness right here. You can see that there's the lock on the door and there's the light shining down, almost as if it's begging you to just take the key, unlock the door, move into your future the way that you want to create it. So whatever it was that you came from in your past, or whatever it was you left behind or walked away from, there is a future ahead of you, and you've got the key to make that happen for yourself. So I hope that gives you a little encouragement, Leo. As you move into your internal energy, so this is you and this is how you feel. Six of Swords, which is, it's more sword energy. So you've put a lot of thought energy into moving away from what no longer serves you. You're feeling very satisfied in your mind that you know what's best for you. You know what moves to make, what doors need to be closed and what doors need to be opened. You're trusting yourself. You believe with all of your mind. This is very thought oriented. You've given it a lot of thought. A lot of thought energy has been put into getting into your rowboat and rowing yourself away from this rough, choppy water. Water always represents emotions. So I love that the Six of Swords is a thought-based sword energy, while in this ocean of emotion. So in order to keep your thoughts clear, you need to move away from everything that is making you feel, like your boat is rocking without your permission. External energy for you is the major arcana for the sign of Scorpio. It's death and rebirth. So while it might very well feel as if a chapter of your life has closed, a chapter of your life is ending, trust in the rebirth process of death. Nothing is ever finally finished. There is always something new that comes from something old. So we never have a complete ending. Remember, everything is energy, and energy can always be transformed. That is what this card is all about. Transformation, just changing form from one state to another. So I hope that makes you feel good, that on the external situations that you're looking at in your life, it may very well feel as if some things are really formally finished, but that is never the case because something new is always waiting in the wings, it seems, to take its place. So that is a hopeful energy to look forward to. In your hopes and fears, we have Two of Swords. So I think it's more sword energy. Leo, there is so much thinking going on in your reading today. Swords and two of them indicates that there is a choice to make, that you could be of two minds, that you could be thinking, kind of like I was alluding to earlier, that did I make the right choice? Did I do the right thing? I did decide to leave this relationship, but now I, don't know if this is the right job for me to take, or I'm leaving this job because I want to focus on this relationship, but is that the right thing to do? I think this is a very common hope and a fear to have simultaneously, and it looks like you're proving that very true by having this in your hopes and fears category. The Two of Swords can also indicate willful blindness. So sometimes we don't want to see the truth. So consider that as a possibility, that there is the truth, bold and bright as the truth always seems to be. And you just might not want to be seeing it that way. Maybe it's better to be head in the sand or in the dark on some things. So consider that as a possibility, but this Two of Swords in your hopes and your fears. In your final outcome, we have more swords, 8 of them. This one indicates self-imprisonment. So I think this is really interesting. There is a lot of swords here. There is a lot of thinking. You've been in your head a lot, Leo. It's very obvious. Even the month of October looks like it's going to be very mentally um, stimulating, but also could be a mentally challenging month in the aspect of it seems like there's something that you've really vacillated on. Should I, shouldn't I? Did I, don't I? Go this way, stay here. It seems just very, you could be possibly trapping yourself up with your own imprisoned mindset. This one is very indicative of analysis paralysis. So while I think these cards can be maybe a little I want to say daunting, or maybe it makes you feel a little anxious. I think knowledge is power, and so I think, Leo, as you're going into the month of October, be aware that getting stuck in your head could be what happens if you don't control them when they're just little baby thoughts. If we keep giving something our mental energy, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And next thing you know, you're tied up with these are thoughts. You're tied up with all your thoughts, and you've got your blindfold back on, and you're just sitting there staring at yourself, wondering, what do I even do now? So you could be getting yourself into a bigger pickle by not catching them when they're just small little seeds of ideas. So as a final outcome, I would take this more of a warning, as far as maybe it's not it's not all it's cracked up to be, and you always are in the driver's seat of the way that you're thinking about things. So Leo, I do want to give you an oracle card from it is the Mystic Manifesting Oracle cards, and I'll just give a shuffle here. If you do have anything you'd like to add, chip in, that would be great. One final shuffle here. So an oracle card for the sign of Leo. We have transform limits. Allow spirit to take away doubts, fears, and attachments. I change my life with ease. Leo, I think this was a positive reading overall. I think this was a heads up for you, just to know that October might have a lot of thinking energy attached to it. And, knowledge is power, and going into that month with your feet on the ground and your head, very cleared. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're meditating, you're praying, you're journaling, going to your yoga classes, taking walks, making sure that you're just taking good, healthy care of yourself. And I do wish you the very best. I always love to hear your feedback, your likes, your subscribes, your follows. Very appreciated. Thank you so much, Leo. Be blessed. Namaste.